Time now to get this petrol tank off so we can get it welded up and fixed. If you'll remember, it's got a big hole in it. I will show you what I'm talking about when I get it off. Why is this thing put together? The seat and the gas tank. The reason why is because Sidekick bolted it together so that he could roll it around the driveway outside and have a little fun on it. But we need to get an engine in there for him. And if you guys don't remember, that's what the issue is with this tank. It's got a hole right there. Somebody had started to, I think that's solder on it. So we need to cut that out and weld a new piece in there. Before we get started working on this petrol tank, I need to tell everybody how dangerous it is to grind, cut, weld, or do anything with a gasoline tank, diesel tank, oil tank. They're all very dangerous. First off, if you are going to repair a tank like this, it needs to be clean as you can get it, spotless, so you can't smell anything in it. No trace of any kind of fumes. But even then, it's still dangerous because when you're heating it up by welding it or grinding on it or whatever, fuel is in this metal from where it's been sitting in there for so long. And when you heat it up, those fumes escape into the air inside of this tank. You have a flame there, and it's still a good possibility of it exploding and, you injuring yourself or killing yourself. One good way to do it, and I don't recommend anybody repair a fuel tank like this unless you're a professional of some kind, because I don't want to see anybody get hurt. But if you do attempt to fix a tank like this, you can put like a vacuum cleaner on there, the output where the air is always blowing. You always want air, or sometimes I use an air fitting and put it in this spot right here and just let the air keep flowing through it. What that does is keep the fumes flowing out of the tank while you're working on it. Still dangerous. Just gonna try and scratch out a little template here. Template. It fell in there. There it is. I got it pretty close. I am satisfied with that. It's pretty close. Let me cut one out of metal, then I'll grind and fit it in this slot. And this is as close as I can get it for now. I think that's good enough to start welding. I'm going to start welding it in there and just work it as I weld it in. And I will be welding this, and many people are not going to like this. I'm going to be welding this with torches. So you got to worry about it warping. This metal is thicker than this metal right here. And that's done intentionally so I can heat this metal with a torch and have it bleed over onto this thinner metal. Many people won't approve of this method. They would think I need to use a MIG welder or something like that, but there's a reason for this. The reason I'm doing it this way, it works for me because I can see the impurities, like the rust and stuff, moving out of the weld puddle, and that just helps me to get a good seal where it doesn't leak. That's just the way I do it. Here's where we're at right now. Got it patched up. It's very ugly. It was leaking here too. I could see some holes through here. I'm going to stop it up, fill it with the water, see what other holes we have. We're not nowhere near done, so just stay with me here. So what just happened here with this tank? Here is what happened. I kept getting little holes here and there. There's a big hole there, see? And I just kept getting holes everywhere. I would, as I was grinding and cleaning up my weld job here, little holes would appear, new holes everywhere. And if you look on this side, it's full of, it's cottage cheese down here. So the best way to open up all these holes is just to go ahead and sandblast the tank. That's what I did. Now I know what I'm up against. I'm going to weld it all up, all these holes, get them all patched and fixed. And because it burnt so much of the paint off, I just thought I'd just strip the whole thing. We're going to have to paint the whole thing now. I am not thrilled about the way this is going, but it needs to be fixed either way. Well, I've gone this far with it. Why not take out a few little dents in the tank too? Most of you already know the reason for all this noise behind me here. You guys know the routine. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty. We still have pinholes in this thing, so block this off. This is just an inner tube. It's not going to take much pressure, just a little bit of pressure is all I want to do. This is just the air valve. I'm going to put a little bit of air in there, and this is kind of good because it would probably expand real big. You would know it was dangerous. Anyways, I'm going to put a little air in there. Watch, I'll demonstrate. See that? So now this valve will hold that air in there if you want to unplug it. Let me demonstrate that. See, it's holding your air in there until you release it. So when I go to weld it, I'll let off of that. But for now, I want to find the pinholes. So I got a little Windex. Look at that. Look at that. Let's see. Can you guys see that? There is a big pinhole right there. There we go. So that'll need to be welded up. And I just need to search around the whole tank for other leaks. I need to get these forks off right here because these need to be painted the same color as the petrol tank. And I can't tell. I think this whole triple tree may have to come off. I'm not sure. This project is becoming way more involved than I originally anticipated. I really wasn't going to do all this work to it, but I have two family members who just fell in love with this thing and got to have it running. Of course, Sidekick. And the other one, surprisingly enough, is LG. So I guess we'll get it fixed up for them. Done on purpose. I can get this out a lot easier now than I could have with it in there. And the other handlebar's bent anyways. This one's bent, as you can hopefully see right there. See how it's twisted? So we got to do something about that. Oh, no good way to hold this stupid thing up. Really. A little frustrating. There we go. Looks like this big nut's got to come off of here next. Little C-clip fell out. Who knows what that goes to? Oh, I'm sure it's something to do with these handlebars. So far, just one ball fell out. I'm going to be listening for more. This is the most awkward thing. Oh, there goes one. Yikes. This is what I'm after right here. It's got a bearing on the top and bottom of this, I don't know, nose, triple tree holder, whatever. Just like the rest of this bike, this front end is a mess, my dudes and dudettes. This one was already out. This is threaded. Apparently these pieces right here are threaded on. So anyways, this one's off, so I'm just going to rip it out of there. Put it someplace where I won't get grease all over myself. Now for this side, and what it's got a little tiny hole here on both sides, looks like. So, can you see that? So it must have some kind of spanner wrench that fits on there. I don't have that wrench. Must be a special tool. I'm gonna try and turn it with ease, but I don't know that I'll have any success because they look like they're on there pretty good. Ah, no sir. I'm making a mess. These are aluminum. So I am creating a mess, I suppose. But see, there's plastic in there. That little piece in there was plastic. Let me show you on the old one. You see this little junker right here is plastic. So if I heat that, I'm going to destroy this part. So I am going to have to take some time or thought into getting this off. What to do? I don't know. I could at least take this fender out of the way, I suppose. Probably make it easier. And there's your fender all beat up, banged up, tore up, junk. Kind of like the rest of this little mini biker. Okay, that's all right. Just gonna have to hope for the best here and see what happens. Maybe we won't ruin that plastic. If we do, we'll have to order new, I suppose. Don't want to though. Oh, so look at there. That's all it took. Woo, she's hot. That worked out better than I expected. Look at all the rust coming out of there. Ah! Ah! Ow! There we go. There's our plastic piece right there. Ow! Ow! Getting all burned up. There we go, it's out, and I don't know of any other way I could have got it out, so I don't feel terrible, but I don't feel happy either. I think it did melt our plastic a little bit right there, so may have to be replaced. I'm pretty sure it will. There's another 30 or 40 bucks. Gone. For now, this is a piece I was after right here, so we can sandblast and paint it. I probably already mentioned that. Look, I put a hose clamp to my table here. That way when I went to turn this over here, none of that would move. That's really secure too. I don't think I had to heat it as much as I did. I probably could have heated a little less and it still would have worked out just fine. So I didn't know. I didn't know it would only take just a little bit of heating. I don't like heating up metal ever because it changes the temperance, I think is the right word, of the metal. Petrol tank has been out here for several hours full of water. Just, you know, just as another test to make sure that we don't have any leaks, and we don't. Gonna call this one part 1 of the Z50 build. I think part 1, maybe part 2. Gonna spill the water out and fill it up with muriatic acid. let it sit a few days. That way it'll be perfectly spotless clean on the inside of the tank, I hope. And then we'll start on the body work on all the pieces that we took apart. I still need to do some sandblasting. Anyways, I need to head to the bank now because I'm going to refinance the house here to try and get money together to finish this project, to fund this project. So hopefully we'll get approved for the loan and this project will continue. Guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.